Hi guys, and welcome to my vlog of incontinence. As you can see, I've just woken up, so we'll go through things in a minute because I generally don't know what state things are down there regards all the incontinence side of things. But first things first, for those of you that are watching this intrigued by what incontinence is, well, continence, if you look it up on Wikipedia, will tell you it's a person's control over their body to get to the toilet, or bodily functions, for sitting and having a number one or a number two. Incontinence is the opposite, meaning that you have no control. Unfortunately, the powers that be upstairs have decided, you know, God or whoever has decided I'll be blessed without the control of that part of my body anymore. So it kind of does what it wants to do, and I've got to plan my life around it, rather than for most people who would take for granted that you can get to the toilet. You know you need to go to the toilet. I don't get that. I haven't for several years. Instead, sometimes I do get the warning that I might need to go and sit to have a number two, say. But the time I have is so slim, it's not even funny, to be honest. Have you ever had it where you've known you need to get to a toilet, but you are at the urgent stage where you're running to the loo in the hope and pray that you'll make it, and if you're not close to one, then you've had it? That's basically the feeling I get, but we're talking I've got 15-20 seconds. I mean, I'm upstairs in my bedroom. I think there's 15 or 20 stairs out in the hallway. If I was to get the urge now, even in front of the camera, I'd probably make it to 4 or 5 steps down the stairs before it was too late, by the time I got out of the bed and opened the door. It's that short a time. You know, my toilet's seconds away if I run, but it's too far. So hopefully that explains that I have no control over that part of my body. So as a result, I have to use these. This is known as an all-in-one incontinence pad, but in hindsight, when you look, it's basically a nappy, a diaper, whatever you want to call it, for adults. Not the most comfortable thing to have to wear, not the most nicest of things to have to wear, but for my circumstance, it does exactly what it says on the tin. It helps me cope with the problem I have. Not the nicest way of having to deal with things, but hey, it's sort of become a fact of my life. Now, this is a singular one on its own. It's quite thin. It doesn't hold an awful lot. As you can see, they're not the thickest thing in the world. The other thing as well, as you can see on there, they have a yellow strip. Now that yellow strip is well, kind of like a wetness indicator, I suppose, along with the blue writing. When these things are wet or whatever, that will now turn to like a bluey, navy blue, black kind of colour, to let myself know, and for instance in my case my wife know, that it needs sorting. So yeah, that's the basics of that. Hoping I'm going to be able to get through to you. So, as I said, I've not long been up. I generally do not know the state I'm in myself. Normally most mornings I wake up needing sorting out, needing changing pretty quick. I doubt today is going to be any exception, but this is where I have to make this video in 18, because now it's going to get graphical, guys. So if you don't want to see this, please look away now. And I'm about to find out for myself just how bad I am, but I'll also let you see on the camera. So if you don't want to see a not very nice image, you're probably best to look away. But here we go. And as I thought, today is no exception at all. Soaked to the core. Welcome to my world. Absolutely soaked, as I was expecting. So now comes the fun part where I have to turn the camera off and shout of Carrie to help me get sorted out. So I can get this one off and a clean one on and get dressed for the day, and yeah, that'll be it for about 3 or 4 hours I guess, and then I'll have to stop again to get checked and changed again. So yeah, it's quite interfering with my life. I have to plan my life around things. It's not good. But anyway, I'll talk about that in a bit. First things first, so let's get sorted out and get changed and carry on with the rest of the day. So I'll put the camera on in a little while. Well, that's me now changed and in a dressing gown. So yeah, sorry to those of you who had to witness the old man boobs a minute ago, and I'm not the slimmest of people to be on camera. But again, due to the illness that gave me the incontinence, I've also been blessed with obesity. So yeah, it all kinds of ties in. But anyway, now it's time, like I do every morning after getting out of that fucking thing for a little while, to go and have a shower. It's probably about the only humane thing of it that I actually do enjoy. So I shall see you in a minute, and then I shall be back once changed and sorted properly and clothed for the day, to talk about just that, clothing and how I cope, and also the kind of things I use to get along. Right, see you soon. Yes, we're back from having a shower. Feeling a little bit thing, although I still feel pale. I've got this flu thing that everyone's got, so it's knocking me for six a little bit at the moment. But we're all set for the day, and now I'm going to talk about the importance of clothing. First things first though, as you can see, nice and clean and yeah, ready for action down below. So where do I start? Well, first things first, as I said, I've got here, the most important thing is like my bottoms, my trackers. Now, for those of you that have been very observant over my videos, you will have noticed something. I'm just going to put the camera up there while I carry on. See, you can tell this is not edited, it's live, because otherwise you wouldn't have all the camera doing all this, you see. So, there you go. Yeah, one of the things I will say is that trousers are important, believe it or not, for incontinence. For those that have watched me, you'll know that I don't very often wear shorts or jeans or anything like that, and that's simply because, for comfort reasons, you sweat like Billy O when you've got incontinence and you have to be in the pads like I currently am. Trackers, the reason I pick these, believe it or not, is because if you get a nice big pair like this and they're nice and baggy, they've got a lot of stretching given them, it hides all and really doesn't show very much. Also, for the untrained eye, you'll probably have noticed that my pads that I use, I should say, you know, nappies, whatever you want to call them, that I use, I've lost mine now. I believe Carrie's actually made it up with the one I've got on, the one I had to show you. But you'll know that they're quite noisy. You know, there is sound there. They do make sound and crinkle and what have you. That's not necessarily always the case. That's partly because the ones I get from the NHS, which are these green ones, are free because of my medical condition, and they just are plastic backed and quite noisy. But they do cloth back ones. In certain areas where I have to be discreet, I will wear one of those because they don't produce virtually any noise at all, but they do have a habit of gapping, which allows, obviously, if I wee or whatever you want to call it, it to come out the sides, you know, and it causes leaks and stuff, so they're not brilliant. But for short hops, you know, for a weekend away or for a few hours, you know, they're fine. But for an everyday use, to be fail safe, these ones I've got on are the ones to go for. Definitely might not be as discreet, they're definitely a lot more bulkier and noisier, but definitely do the job a lot better than their cloth counterpart, so to speak. You'll see what I mean. I'll show you now. Hang on. We're going to my little store. Yes, we have a. So I've got off camera here. Have a wardrobe in the centre of my room, which has got all these kind of things in. This is one of the cloth counterparts. For once, it's actually the right colour. It's white, but you can hear that. That's just the cloth outer. But apart from that, no noise at all in comparison to the one I've got on. Plastic back, a lot noisier. So yeah, there is a big difference. The cloth ones for some reason actually off sound louder than they actually are on. When they're on, they don't produce hardly any noise at all. Go figure. What else to say about it? Paranoia does get the better of you. You're always wondering if anyone can see what you're wearing or know that you've got the problem. Doing this video, if anything's helped me overcome that, I think. But yeah, it's never easy. Obviously things like going swimming with my kids and stuff is something that without a serious lot of preparation doesn't happen. I have got protective underwear I can swim in underneath, all no swim shorts, but it's probably the most uncomfortable thing I own to wear, so I very rarely use it and prefer not to because of that. Other things to talk about then, well, we've got the obvious things, rashes and stuff, as with even a child or a baby. As an adult it gets no better, believe you me. If anything, it gets worse. Adult urine, and that is a lot more pungent than a child's, so things like, yes, that has to be used. Things like this, which is hydrocortisone cream, have to be used, each change. And then, sorry, I just dropped that. And then of course you've got the other one, which is always standard baby powder. Along with wipes and other bits and pieces. Hygiene wise, I do try to keep myself relatively clean and tidy at all times, hence why I always have a shower every day without fail because of it. Otherwise things aren't particularly pleasant. That's about it. Well, we'll carry on with the day now. It's about halfway through. I know it's been a while. I kind of sat around after my shower for a little while. Try to keep out the bits where Carrie's trying to sort of change me and sort me out and stuff, because obviously it's not nice for you guys to have to see or watch. I think you've seen enough of my crotch shots, to be fair. But yes, I said the image looking back in the mirror is never one that's good. Up next then, I've got the vlog to film, which I'm going to probably have to use two cameras to do, because I'm going to have the shot here of me on this for this one, but also I'm going to do the actual vlog 12, as this will be separate from it, and I'll have the camera behind me for this one and the camera in front of me for the actual vlog, so it should come out a little bit interesting. Right then, so on with the day. Coming up on about sort of my hourly checks and stuff. I'll let you know how things go, but at the moment all is well down below. I'm dry for now. This pad, because I've put a relatively thick one on today because I'm at home anyway, should last me several hours without a change, but in normal circumstances I've got to take out, yes, 3 or 4 of these in a bag, plus cream, plus powder, plus wipes and everything else I need, and then also the radar key for disabled toilets so I can change and get sorted while out and about. So there's a lot of preparation that goes into it, no one ever actually sees, but it has to happen. So anyway, I hope this has been a bit of an insight. Not done yet. We'll go through the next check, see how we go, see how many hours I go before things need sorting out. But hopefully it's given you a bit more insight as to what I have to go through on a daily basis. I don't enjoy it. It can be quite degrading. I do get very depressed at times, but unfortunately it's life. I can't change the way it is. I can't do anything about it. Medical doctors are great at telling you you've got problems, but they don't tell you how to deal with them. Unfortunately, these are one of these things we have to learn ourselves, and yeah, for me has been very hard, but hopefully it's given you a bit more insight into somebody that's got incontinence and what they have to go through. As I said, the doubling up and stuff is something that I had to learn myself. There's not a right way or a wrong way. As such, it's just one of those things. You've got to find the groove that works for you. Yeah. But, right, camera off, and we'll do a little bit more filming in a bit, but that's basically it, guys. See how we go, see how much we're left of the day. It's now heading up for, I believe, around about 1-2 o'clock. I haven't actually got a watch handy, so I don't know. But I will let you know what happens next, and do a little bit more to the end of this afternoon, this evening, and let you know how we get on. Right then, speak to you in a bit.